Welcome back to week 2 of Show Control, everybody. This is Matt.
I'm here. I'm also known as Captain Stray, and I have scoured the area, and there are no strays for me to rescue.
There are no
so
more.
we're good.
All right.
We're fine.
Cool. And he's here on time.
I am.
And here is... Go for it.
Hey, it's your boy, the Jackass BC. How you doing? Hit me up on all social medias at
All
Real Jackass BC, RealJackassBC. All the Facebooks all around the world. You can hit me up.
Mark Zuckerberg is going to be sending a lot of cease and desist orders.
That's a whole lot.
Man, I ain't worried about no Mark Zuckerberg.
You shouldn't be. What are you, like, did you make the Facebooks?
I made the Facebooks.
Oh, God.
I just let him take a little bit of the credit.
I mean, we might have another social network on our hands.
Oh, shit.
Social Network 2.
Well, then
The Rise of BC.
You'll take over, then the Winklevoss twins will come after you.
Oh, God.
No.
Have you seen
Army Hammer's scary. He's a big boy.
You don't want 2 Army Hammers coming at you.
No.
Everyone had a good week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watched a lot of TV?
I'm hungover.
I definitely watched a lot of TV. That's pretty much what most of my life is, watching TV and playing video games and writing and taking care of animals. And then at some point, crafting out time for my wife and then work. So yeah, had a great week.
Your week sounds busy.
That's my life. My life is busy.
Okay. And BC, you're hungover.
I'm hungover.
Trying to keep up drinking with your mom, huh?
Trying to. That lady can. God, she can down some beer, and she calls me a wuss because I drink Bud Light, and she's all like, "If you gotta drink light beer, you shouldn't be drinking beer." Thanks, Mom.
Damn.
She's not wrong.
Mom is harsh.
Mom is harsh.
There are many reasons why I don't drink. It's one of the reasons.
Okay, let's go ahead and get into our show, and let's talk about some of the news that's happened this week in TV. And first of all, we'll start with the HBO series finale of Girls.
I like how you put in the rundown. Girl gone.
Not Gone Girl?
Gone Girl. Girl gone.
That's the point of it. It's like Gone Girl, but it's Girl gone.
I probably should have put Girl Bye.
Girl Bye!
Girl Bye.
Girls Bye.
Yeah.
Girls.
So, I mean...
I never watched Girls, but I hear it ended like it started. Confusing and naked.
Okay, because I only started watching it this week since it was all done. I was like, well, it was a big thing. Plus, Lena Dunham was always in the news for something stupid. Mm-hmm. So I decided to watch it, and it's weird. So far, I mean, I've only got through the first season, and that's all I can say about it. It's weird. Adam Driver is... wow.
Yeah. Very different. Very different from what you've seen in other things that he's done. Like, I'm with you. I haven't watched a whole lot of it. I couldn't really get into it. A couple of my friends were like, "Oh my God, it's so amazing! You have to watch this. You have to really get into it." And I couldn't. Like, and I think it was because like I'm watching it and it was too weird and it was a little too, I guess, dramatic, and I didn't really need that.
No.
Yeah. And it seemed unnecessarily dramatic, and so I don't know. Like BC was saying, a lot of my friends who did watch it, they were kind of, I don't know, I guess not as satisfied as they would have liked, but it's an HBO show, so they tend to end shows very up in the air.
Just cutting out the lights.
Like Sopranos.
Exactly, just like Sopranos. So, can't talk. Girls is gone. Bye, girls.
Bye.
But,
Yeah, but...
Good for Lena Dunham for making all that money.
That's gone, but another show has wrapped production and has come back for its 3rd season. That's Ballers.
Yeah!
Now,
Ballers.
Ballers, another one. I watched the 1st season. I liked it. I apparently didn't know what was going on in it. Season 2, I watched the 1st episode, and I got caught up with other stuff, so I didn't watch it. So... these two guys are going to tell you about Ballers and how great it is because they love Ballers and he loves The Rock. So
The
DC.
Rock is the greatest actor of all time. If The
I
Rock
mean,
was
that's
cast
not true.
as a 12-year-old girl, I'd be like, yeah, I totally buy that. He could totally play a 12-year-old girl because he's The Rock and he has such a big range. It's just out of freaking nowhere, and he's got great comedic timing, and it shows so well on this show with everyone around him.
Yeah, I absolutely love this show too. At first, I was kind of not as into it as I would have liked to, or as others were. But then, as it progressed, and especially in season 2, it got really good in season 2. And because in season 1, everything was just like, oh, hunky dory, everything's working out. It felt like Entourage in a way. And not that Entourage was a bad show. It's just that toward the end, it ended too nicely. But season 2 happens, and now you're starting to see a lot more drama. You're starting to see Spencer is going through a lot more crap, especially with his drug addiction or, the opioid addiction. So it's really good. It's a lot of fun. And it kind of, like, season 2 just left up in the air, too.
Yeah.
A lot of things were not tied together in a perfect, neat little bow. So I'm really intrigued about what season 3 is going to be like, especially for like my favorite characters. Like I can't remember his name right now, but the wide receiver, I love that guy.
Ricky.
Yeah, Ricky.
I love Ricky. Is so and that's Denzel Washington's son.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's
I
so
found
awesome.
it out recently. Also, I was like,
He is one of the best characters on the show, and I love the Tim Tebow character now, and I can't think of his name, but he showed up here in season 2.
The guy from Florida State.
Yes,
He wasn't bad. He wasn't Tim Tebow though. He was a linebacker.
oh, I know, but he's kind of like he's kind of supposed to be like a Tim Tebow. Well, I guess no, it's not. I always got that. No, they're not pushing a religion. They're just, I don't know what it is they're pushing about it. But no, it's Johnny Football. That's what.
Johnny Football.
He's Johnny
I could totally
Football.
see that. Yes, 100%.
And
Johnny
it's
Football.
I don't well, because Tim Tebow was the god of football.
Yeah.
But Johnny.
Oh, he was definitely the god of.
Oh yeah, dude. He is the heavenly quarterback.
okay.
Did you ever see him in college?
No.
Absolutely amazing. The miracles he could perform.
I'm pretty sure for 316 yards.
He
twice.
touched people like who were paralyzed and they walked again. Like that was, and by throwing touchdowns.
Wow.
And he was running in for a touchdown, and the line just parted.
It did.
And he just went right through.
Okay. Well, what happened to him?
He is now playing baseball.
He won a playoff game for the Broncos and beat the
Yeah.
Steelers. So,
But now I can't think of that character's name at all.
I can't remember his name either, but he got drafted by the Ravens.
Yeah,
so
and
now
he
we're gonna
was
see what
everything
happens.
about him was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
I loved him.
I'm really excited for this next season, especially with how strong season 2 was. So yeah, season 3 should be really good.
Another show that a lot of people have been waiting for to come back to TV, or actually it's come back to Netflix, and that is Young Justice Season 3.
Yes!
Now,
I need
everyone
Young
out
Justice.
there, you know that Young Justice got 2 seasons, and then it was just nixed from, who was it, Cartoon?
I believe it was Cartoon Network, yeah.
Yeah,
Cartoon Network has always tried to create variations of like Teen Titans and all the other like younger superstars or superheroes from there, and it just never really works out. And I think that they abandoned Young Justice a little too soon.
Yeah.
And especially, and I get it. I mean, the first season you introduced like your core members, and then season 2
trying to get them to work together.
Right.
That was season 1.
But then season 2, it time jumps. And now you're like 5 years in the future and all these different things have happened and you have no idea what's going on anymore. I think that was kind of their fatal flaw. If there was some sort of season where you got a bridge between, that would have made all the difference. And so you would have gone into season 2 or 3 at that point knowing a little bit more about it. But regardless, even season 2 was really good. So I'm really looking forward to this.
We're looking forward to that. I mean, and they're just doing the voice work now, so all the animation is done. They're just putting voices to all that stuff.
Are all the same actors from the first 2 seasons back for it?
I don't know, but I would assume
I'm not sure.
so.
I believe they did say that most of the cast was back, or all the cast was back. But as far as who was nixed or whatever, I didn't see anything about that.
Like, I don't know many of these actors and actresses that do the voice work on here, aside from Lacey Chabert. But Alan Tudyk was in it. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Well, you know what's cool is that this show actually got revived by people watching it on Netflix.
Yeah.
So I'm pumped for the fact that Netflix is having it, because they deserve it. After they uploaded it on there, and then everybody just clamored for more.
Yeah.
And that's what
all the people that watched it before went back and watched it, and people that had Netflix and didn't see it was like, oh, let me watch this, and everyone freaking loved it.
I love that about Netflix or Hulu, whatever. Whenever you get to rewatch a whole season again, and there's so much impact and so many people clamoring for more that eventually they finally just greenlit another season. I love it. I love it.
Well, I'll tell you what, Matt. Your passion for it has sold me, and as soon as I finish watching Rebels, I'll go give that a try.
Oh, dude, definitely. Definitely go check it out. I mean, I don't think it compares to Rebels, but it's good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm behind on. I'm catching up on that now. Mm-hmm. So when I finish that, I'll give this one a look at. Let's see.
Well, quick thing before you keep going. Mm-hmm. One of the things I love about your outline is that you write it in a way that the script text would be. Like, I know this is an aside and you totally guys can't see it, but like, if you ever go and you look at like a movie or a television script, that same font is how he writes this, and it's so fun to look at. All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Well, since we was talking about Rebels, that's what we're going into next. Star Wars Celebration had shown the final season trailer, and I saw it. I thought it was okay. The only problem is I haven't watched Rebels.
That's a big problem.
I haven't watched Clone Wars.
Oh, no.
So, I watched the first season of Clone Wars. It's just, I don't know. It's just something about it being there. I just can't get into it.
Clone Wars is very difficult to watch because you can't technically just watch it. You gotta jump around.
Yeah.
Watch this episode from season 3, then go back and watch these 4 from season 1, and then quickly jump over to season 4 really quick, just for 2 episodes.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is this? Huh?
BC is a veteran at this. He went through every single season on Netflix except the last season, because honestly that didn't matter. And I mean, versus me, I watched it from beginning to end the way they showed it. You took a lot more time with it.
Yeah, I found the order online that you're supposed to go through. And so I went through it one by one, watching it, skipping around where I needed to be. And I really enjoyed it. It had its issues. But I'll tell you this. I'm so glad that I watched it because it gives a lot of extra to Rebels. I don't think I would be enjoying Rebels right now had I not watched the Clone Wars.
You're 100%.
Now, yeah, I'm behind on Rebels. I've just started Rebels now. I'm on halfway through season 2 or a couple episodes into season 2. So I'm behind there, but it really does. Like, they have a lot of throwbacks to the Clone Wars, and it really sets things up in Rebels.
Mm-hmm. And in season 1, and you can talk about this, but season 1 we were introduced to Ezra, and how he's a boy who's lost and trying to find his way in the universe. He eventually realizes, or Kanan realizes, that he has Force abilities and takes him under his wing, and then they go and try to, just for, if I'm saying anything wrong, let me know. But ends up taking him under his wing, and they join the rebellion. It's been a while since I've seen the first season. I know they were mostly in Lothal.
Well, they're basically starting the rebellion. They're not a part of the rebellion first. They're really they're kind of Robin Hooding it. They're stealing stuff from the Empire to give back to the people.
Right.
And they have a contact that's helping them do that, but only Hera knows who this contact is.
That's right.
And by the end of it, you find out that this contact is Senator Bail Organa.
Yeah.
And that it is a part of the rebellion. This is basically the beginning of the rebellion. Mm-hmm. And that's where you end off on season 2, when Kanan's trying to teach Ezra.
Season 1.
Yeah, right before season 2 is what
right.
I'd say. Mm-hmm. Kanan's trying to teach Ezra the ways of the Force, even though Kanan doesn't seem to be up there himself just yet.
Yeah.
Because he was still a Padawan during Order 66, and he saw his master get killed. So he kind of escaped, and he has issues dealing with the fact that he ran away while his master stayed and fought. Which is what his master, he said, his master told him, run, get away now. Which is what he did, but he still deals with that a little bit. And so you get the aspect of all these different characters. They're all from different backgrounds, but they're going into this together. And the chemistry works between the cast. I don't like a couple of the characters. Zed is way too cartoony. Chopper is the worst droid I have ever freaking seen.
Here's the thing, though. Like, you're still early on to where you don't really understand Chopper, but there's a point where you start to really kind of feel for the little guy. And you understand what he's kind of been through, but he gets better. Like, he's not a horrible droid.
Chopper's supposed to be the war veteran.
Yeah.
Yes.
Something I saw.
Yes.
I'm in a scene in season 2 now where Chopper picks up 2 guns and starts just running around like that. I'm like, okay, no, this is no. So
he gets better. They
so
start
much
to
now.
mute him a little bit more in season 3.
Good.
So you won't get as much of him. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Zed gets his own episode in season 3, but it's not a terrible one.
He's a little better now that season 2 starts because they've toned him down.
Right. Well, that's the thing. In season 1, you're completely 100% right. It's very cartoony at certain points, but it's cartoony with some Star Wars sprinkled in there.
Yes.
You know? And then season 2 happens, and it starts to get darker. And you start to really kind of dive into the Force a little bit more, and you start to really explore each of these characters. Season 3 is whenever everything is just crazy. It's dire. I mean, sure, you still got a lot of these filler episodes, but you really feel like everything that they're going through is like life or death. Is Ezra going to go to the dark side? Is Ezra going to go to the light? What's going to happen? Who's going where? What is going to be the future of the rebellion? And even the end of season 3 was just powerful because they've been going up against a new threat in Thrawn, Grand Admiral Thrawn, who I don't know.
I think it's
Thrawn, yeah. Grand Admiral Thrawn, who he is just sadistic. He is so. But the
From
thing
what
is,
I've
he's
always
so
been told is from the
clever.
Legends. From Legends, the character everyone wanted to see most was Thrawn.
And he's been really outperforming it. It's so good. He is an amazing villain to watch. I would love to see him in real life. So I'm curious to what season 4 is going to be like. Whether or not he's going to survive. And because you know that in season 4, some people are going to have to die from the team.
90% of them better bite it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I feel like Hera will survive.
Yeah, Hera's fine.
Maybe Sabine, because we don't really see him in any of the Mandalorians later on. But I feel like I want to say Kanan's going to die. These are theories. We don't know this. But I want to say Kanan's going to die, and then maybe Ezra goes somewhere. I don't see Ezra dying.
If Kanan and Ezra both don't die, I'm going to be pissed.
I don't think Ezra's dying.
Something better happened with Ezra to make sense to why he's not there. And why Mon Mothma in Rogue One says, what about your Jedi friend? Can you go get your Jedi friend? But you got 2 Jedis right there on your damn nose. This makes no effing sense.
Well,
that's something probably dumb for me to get mad about. But I do.
Well, you get mad about timelines. That's well established.
Oh God.
Now there was one part I saw. I believe it's Ezra. He took control of a AT-ST pilot and was just gunning down troopers.
That was in season 1.
That was in season 1. Okay,
Yeah.
and he just walks the guy off the edge.
What the walker?
The AT-ST, like he's walking forward. He's moving, and the walker just keeps going and going and just walks him off the edge. And I'm like, that's fucking sinister.
That's the interesting thing about Ezra, is that you don't know if he's really going to be joining the light or the dark. And the entire series is him struggling between the two.
And where I am in season 2, Rex is who I'm so glad.
I love Rex on that.
Rex is trying to teach him military training, shooting a blaster and stuff, and then Kanan's trying to pull him into Jedi training, and he's getting fed up with all these rules, and then they're making him clean the ghosts while they go run a mission, and then all of a sudden, my absolute favorite character from Clone Wars shows up, Hondo the pirate. I was so, and then it's kind of like, you should join my clan, be a pirate, and he's like, I could be a pirate, and so you get that out of him.
Yeah.
You're like, he could really go anywhere.
Yeah.
And you just don't know. And if I was him, I'd be a pirate because Hondo is so. He'd probably turn his back on you eventually at some point.
Absolutely.
He's the Captain Jack Sparrow of.
There's so many moments that you're gonna see that they're gonna be like, Hondo, why'd you leave? And he's just like, oh, well, there's this thing going on. I ended up with it.
We're buddies. We're pals. We're good. I'm Hondo, the pirate.
So great. No, but you're right. It's gonna be really interesting to see where he goes and how it really progresses with that story. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So you should definitely watch it. Check it out because I have a feeling, I don't know for sure, but I have a feeling that Ezra is going to have a part to play in maybe the live action things. The live action episodes.
There's a lot of thought that Benicio del Toro would be him. But the closer we get, the more I go, I think Benicio del Toro is just a random person in the movie.
He could be. I mean, Daniel Craig was a random person in the movie.
I mean, not as small as Daniel Craig, but more like, oh God, what's his name that played Lors Von Tekka?
Oh, Plummer? Christopher Plummer?
Yeah.
Not Plummer.
Yeah, no.
Something Christopher.
In the opening scene of Force Awakens.
No, it was Max von
Sydow.
Sydow.
Oh,
yeah, Max von Sydow.
Yeah.
I always get those two mixed up. But, yeah, it could be that. There are a lot of other people that are believing that it's going to be Snoke. That Ezra is Snoke. In some form or fashion.
Holy cow. I didn't even think about that one. I just kept hearing about the silly freaking Mace Windu thing.
No, there's no way.
Well, apparently, according to Star Wars Celebration, Samuel L. Jackson believes that Mace Windu is still alive.
Oh, absolutely. Everybody knows that Jedis can fall from great distances and land on their feet.
That's exactly what he said.
Exactly. Well, yeah, so definitely go check it out because it's going to be interesting to see how it ends and where they're going to go with the Ezra character and if it ends up becoming Snoke.
And we know this is the final season of Rebels,
Yeah.
and it will not end with the Battle of Scarif.
No.
Which I think kind of sucks, but at the same time, I'm like, well, good, you shouldn't have had Jedis there anyway.
Yeah. No way. There's no reason to have Jedis on that planet.
Yeah.
Okay. But one last thing, we will get a lot more Rogue One tie-ins in this one. Mm-hmm. We got some in Season 3, you'll find that out. But we'll get more in this one because at one point during the trailer, they actually show Yavin 4.
All right. Well, I guess I got some shows to look forward to watching in Clone Wars, and hopefully Rebels will get on Netflix, and I can watch all of that.
They're easy. I'm watching it on Amazon Prime right now, and they're easy to get through. They're only 22 minutes.
They're awesome. But and there's a lot of filler episodes you can kind of just skip through.
They have the Amazon Prime has the Rebels.
No, you have to buy it.
Oh, you have to buy them? Oh, okay. All right. Okay. All right, so we're going to move on into superheroes, I guess.
Sounds good.
Cloak and Dagger trailer was shown this week. What was it? Wednesday, Thursday, something like that?
I think it was Thursday.
Yeah. Cloak and Dagger from Marvel Comics. Tyrone Biggums and Tandy Bowen.
Don't do that.
Yeah. I really thought you were like, you're like, that's it. Yeah, of course.
You got any more of that Dark Force?
Come on.
Yeah, it played two runaway kids. Tandy was a rich girl. Her mother was a supermodel as far as the comics go. And Tyrone was from the ghetto. And because of problems they were having at home, both of them ran away to New York City and met up, became friends, got caught up with some drug dealers who were working for the Magia, which is the Marvel Mafia, and they were injected with a synthetic drug that they were just working on to get out in the public. Everyone died from this drug except for them, which gave them the powers that they have now. Cloak having the Dark Force powers and a cloak that he wears all the time and you really can't see his body. He can pull people inside the cloak. It's almost like another dimension. He's a gateway to the Dark Force dimension. And he can use Dark Force powers, and he's kind of like an energy leech or energy vampire. He pulls you in. There are quite a few times he's killed people. And that's because of the hunger. It's not because he's an evil person. It's just the hunger of the Dark Force. And Tandy has control over Light Force. And she's able to keep the hunger at bay in Tyrone and so on. But getting to the trailer, when I saw it, I said I liked it. Because I was looking at one thing, that basically what I told you about the characters, as far as what are they doing in this thing that shows me their origin. Only thing I didn't see was the drug use part, but everything else kind of flowed as far as character origin for these two people. And that's what I liked. Matt?
Oh, I thought you were going to... Okay, no, I didn't like it.
No.
I didn't like it. No. I mean, it's just so teen angsty. You know, and it's freeform, so you're going to get that. But it's just... The way they're selling it, it's like... Oh my god, you saved me. Now we have these powers together. It's not because of an experimental drug. We have powers. Oh my god, we touched. Look, do you see my hand? It's glowing. Mine's glowing too, but darker. It's crazy. Hey, we're at this party. What's up? Oh my god, I bumped into you. I'm sorry. Oh, hi. What's going on? I'm just a really upset ballerina girl who just hangs out, and I'm upset for no reason. I don't know what's my problem. So, I don't know. Just to me, it was just so teen angsty. And
It was just so hokey.
It was so hokey. Like, it wasn't until the end that they were like, oh, wait a second, let's add powers. It's like, no, let's just do One Tree Hill for a second, and then eventually add powers later on.
One Tree Hill.
It was just so, like, angsty, and I'm like, I don't care about any of you people. And, you know, maybe whenever it comes out, it might be alright, but as far as that trailer's concerned... There was nothing in that made me enjoy it at all. There was no sort of antagonist. The drama seemed to be made by themselves. It seemed to be no motivating force, and that was what was really bothering me.
Well, there was a part where they were being chased, where their powers manifested, and I was like, oh,
okay.
They were being chased, and in the comics, they had to escape from these drug dealers.
That's
so
great.
they're probably escaping from someone, and but
we're not seeing who they're being chased by. Instead, they're running through a graveyard, again, extremely teen angsty, where they're just like, oh my god, look, I've got glowing powers now. What? You mean to tell me y'all haven't touched once already, and y'all haven't figured out y'all have powers, but now suddenly you're stress-induced and you have powers? It's weird. And then you've seen them as kids, and they're all sleeping together, just like, because I guess he saved her. I don't know.
Because they were runaways, and they teamed up together.
They were kids at that point. Then they grow up, and now they've got powers.
They're the same kid. You hush.
They were tiny.
They were not tiny.
They were tiny. They were like at least 4 years old, and then you progress to like 10 years later, and now they're just like, we got powers, guys. I haven't seen you in so long. I didn't know who you were.
BC, what do you think?
So I turned it on. I'm watching it, and I'm like, man, this is really teenage. I guess they're going really far from the comics. We're not using powers. We're not doing anything. We're going to do Pretty Little Liars or something of the sort. But all right, I'm digging the feel of it. Wait, no, trailer's over, and we did have powers. Okay, that was kind of random that it just pops up there at the end. And they're just like, boom, powers. I don't have as much hate for it as Matt seems to. I was like, okay, this looks like a freeform show. This looks like a CW show with less pretty people.
Owned by two different companies, but yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, that's the kind of feel I'm
Yes.
getting from it. It looks like it looks like the 100, and then all of a sudden it meets Smallville at the end. And you're like, okay, so we do have powers. Took a while for you to show us that, but I see what you're going with. It could be good. We got like a year till this comes out.
Yeah, it doesn't come out until 2018.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that they're not giving us really anything other than weird teen angsty image. I think they just wanted to give us a feel for what the tone of the show was going to be. And then at the very end, they're like, oh yeah, look, powers. So, I mean, I'm intrigued, I guess.
Yeah.
You could say, but I definitely don't have the hatred for it that Matt has.
It's not hatred. It's just
unnatural, burning hatred.
Let me defend. I'm not hating the premise. I get it. It's a freeform show. It's fine. It's just the whole teen angsty approach of it. like, I don't know. To me, Cloak and Dagger, I remember Cloak and Dagger being a lot older. And they were, all that other stuff was kind of behind them.
Yeah.
And they were already...
Yeah, well, this one is showing, like, them as children, as small children.
Yeah.
So,
and
we have that.
But to me, Cloak and Dagger was always like, okay, we've got superpowers, we're trying to, like, I guess, save people, do these other different things, and they're already established. And now we're going back to this unnecessary teen drama. And I'm sorry, I was a teen at one point. I went through drama. I didn't have powers, but I went through all of it, and I don't like living it again.
I survived.
I survived, all right? I don't need to watch war stories about it, okay?
So our next freeform show, which is a 10-episode, 30-minute comedy, is New Warriors.
Okay, you were talking about New Warriors in the chat, and you're like, oh yeah, this New Warriors show, the cast got revealed. And I'm thinking to myself, Warriors! Come out and play! I was like, wait a second, Freeform is doing a Warriors show?
No, not them.
Although that would be not on Freeform, but that could be really cool.
It'd be awesome, right? But if it was on Freeform, it'd just be like, Warriors, like...
They would meet the orphans, then that one girl,
Yes.
and they would be all around Swan and that girl forever. And I would hate the Warriors, which is a movie I love. However, the New Warriors, Jason wrote the story about 3 weeks ago, and then I wrote the follow-up article as far as who the characters in the show was going to be. Jason's article was about the New Warriors comic book, how it started, who the heroes were, and so on and so on and so on. So, the lineup right now is Night Thrasher, Speedball, Mr. Immortal, Squirrel Girl, Debris, and Microbe.
Nice.
Microbe is a guy that talks to germs.
See, I like it, though, because for this series, it's supposed to be a comedy.
Yeah.
It's a 22-minute comedy happening on Freeform, and it works. Because if you have a guy that could talk to germs... That seems like a pretty funny exchange. Like, and I don't know what his personality is, if he's, like, got dry humor or whatever, but just think of, like, they're all doing this one thing, and you've got, like, this dry humor guy, like, talking to germs and just be like, it seems like you have the flu, or something like that. Like, it'd just be, like, pretty funny to watch. I'd be fine with it.
I mean, the characters they have lined up. Now, in the original New Warriors, Night Thrasher was the guy that made the group, and he was a serious, kick-ass freaking character. He had money... He traveled, he had body armor, nightsticks, a skateboard, that's how he traveled. And he'd whoop some ass.
Seems like he was kick-ass.
He damn near was. He damn near was kick-ass with a skateboard. And he is not the leader in this TV show. Squirrel Girl is. A person who was never part of the New Warriors. Original members, as far as this show, was Night Thrasher and Speedball. They're the only two that were ever... Well, actually, no, I won't say ever, because later on, Microbe and Debris became New Warriors. But Mr. Immortal, Squirrel Girl were never members.
Which I don't completely understand, but I can see the argument where they're thinking, okay, if we want to sell this, we need to sell it with Squirrel Girl. Because of everybody mentioned, the only one I've ever heard of before is Squirrel Girl.
Yes.
So that's the
All the powers of a girl
and a squirrel.
Well, yeah, and I think you're right, though, because whether or not you're a comic book fan or whatever, like, you at least know who Anna Kendrick is. And we all know that Anna Kendrick said that she wanted to play Squirrel Girl. So that caused a lot of people to start looking into who the hell Squirrel Girl was. Nobody thought to themselves, let me find out who Night Thrasher is. Nobody knows who Night Thrasher is.
But the one I'm excited for is South Park's Kenny to be on the show.
Mr.
Immortal.
because he has no actual... His only power is that when he dies, he comes back to life.
That's it.
How do you help, bro?
Bro, whenever there's like a nuclear reactor going off and you need to like press the shut off button, he's the guy that walks in.
Yes, exactly.
And he's like, click, I'm dead.
And you don't even gotta sit there and go, God! Because he's coming back.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It'll be fine.
It'll be
Okay.
fine.
I swear to God, if at some point during the show there's not a "you killed Mr. Immortal, you bastard,"
No,
I'm gonna be pissed.
His real name's Craig. So,
Craig.
yeah. You killed Craig!
Craig.
You bastard! Oh, I would love that. I would love that so much.
Okay, so since we're laughing, it's probably going to be a good series, I hope.
Sure. Sure. And
I don't know, because when the trailer comes out, it's going to be very teen angsty.
It might be.
And Matt's going to hate it.
I swear to God, if it is, and they're running through a graveyard, and they're like, suddenly Squirrel Girl's like, I have the powers of a squirrel now! We touched! Yay! I'll be so annoyed.
Okay, so our next superhero show, well, it's not even a superhero show. I don't know why I'm saying this. Krypton has finally had their trailer released for a show that I believe I talked about this on the SNS Live probably a year or two ago, something like that. Whenever they first talked about it.
On my Facebook memories, it just popped up from a year that they're developing a Krypton show.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Oh, perfect.
So that was probably last year that I talked about it, and seeing this. The way he feels about the Cloak and Dagger trailer is how I feel about this Krypton one.
Let the hate out, sir. Let the hate out.
This is, as far as I can see, this is just going to be like some kind of political, young adult drama bullcrap. Because they're on Krypton.
With
they
Superman's
have no
grandfather,
powers.
mind you.
Yes, that's true. I'm sorry. I didn't even mention that. It's not even about Kal-El. It's about Krypton. It's not even about Mon-El. Cal's father. It's about Granddad Seb. Seb-El.
It's a terrible name, by the way.
It's a horrible name.
Seb-El.
Yeah, the only thing I can see them doing in this is kind of Battlestar Galactica, the council stuff, before they had to leave the planet. That's about it.
And you know Sci-Fi is always just trying... And it's going to be on Sci-Fi Network.
It's going to be on Sci-Fi, and it's going to last for 5 years.
It's going to last for 5 years, but you know that ever since Battlestar Galactica ended, their entire motivation or their entire mission for Sci-Fi Network has been to find a new Battlestar Galactica that they can milk up. And that's what's caused them to greenlight so many terrible shows.
I am actually intrigued by it. Like, I liked the trailer, and before the internet blows up, Rob knows that Superman's father is Jor-El, not Mon-El.
Yeah.
Don't get
Mon-El's
mad at him for that.
Supergirl, but yeah.
Sorry, the name stuck in my head.
Yeah.
And he's not even a Kryptonian. So.
He's from
Daxam.
Yeah. But it's I don't know, because my favorite part of Man of Steel was those opening scenes on Krypton. And so if they can build that world and show us some of the creatures and some of the things going on and just put some kind of random thriller show with that paint on it, then I think I might like it.
I just don't think that they're going to have the budget to do that.
No, they're definitely not going to have the budget to make it look like Man of Steel, but they can do something. They can do a little bit, keep it somewhere along those lines there. And it may not look as pretty, but it's still, we could get some of the mythology of that Krypton. Because I like the mythology. The Krypton from the Christopher Reeves one was just weird.
Yeah.
This one is interesting.
See, to me, I think I have a problem with it because I know the ending. I know that Krypton's going to die. Like, you cannot do anything to change that. So I think most of it's going to be them trying to do the politics and going over all these different things and trying to, he's trying to raise Jor-El and Zod's going to be there, all this other stuff. Mm-hmm. And then at one point it's going to take a weird turn and they're going to be like, oh, wait, it was unavoidable. But wait, we were trying to save you guys. Oh, no. And then the end of season 5 is going to be like,
it's
boom.
It's going to be seasons and seasons of the planet's blowing up. No, it's not. You're crazy.
Yes.
See, I'm hoping,
look at this animal from Krypton. That's it.
But they might have a season 4 plot twist and Krypton may not explode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could change the whole thing around.
It goes into like wasn't it the Netherverse or something like that? Was it
and they just kicked off Cal because they don't like him.
That's it.
He's an evil baby.
They kicked off Cal and they kicked off Kara and sent them off
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, we've just put memories inside of you to think that.
Yeah.
Watch on like CW. They're gonna be like, yeah, I remember my great grandfather Sabel doing all this for our worlds on Krypton.
Okay, so I don't like it. Matt doesn't like it. BC's kind of intrigued. I'm still going to watch it.
Hey, yeah, we're gonna watch it.
And then I'm going to come back here and say, I knew it was a piece of shit. Okay, so we're going to move into our last bit of news here. And who saw King Kong?
The movie Kong?
The
I
movie
saw
Kong.
Kong.
I did.
Skull Island.
Awesome.
It was awesome.
Well, they are going to continue stories on Skull Island in a TV show named King Kong Skull Island. They're going to go into...
It's a really original title.
Yeah, it is. They're going to continue from that story of King Kong with Skull Island, and they're going to go into the natives and the background of Skull Island, and I guess they're going to talk about the Skull Walkers and so on.
Crawlers.
And Skull Crawlers.
I mean, you can call them whatever you want.
Yeah.
That's just what he called them.
It's just the name.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like the name. You call whatever you want. So, I mean...
Unless John C. Reilly's in this, like, he was the most intriguing part of that entire film.
Well, I think the most intriguing part of that entire film was Kong.
Well, I mean,
because
Kong was
he
great, but I'm talking about the characters.
Yeah, the character, yeah.
The character.
And see, everyone's like, well, the characters were very one-dimensional in Kong Skull Island. And I go, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I wasn't there to see any character development. I was there to see a giant ape punch other monsters. And that's what I got.
Thank you.
Yeah, but John C. Reilly, though, he created another layer.
I'm
that
like,
I
yeah,
loved
big,
about
that was
film.
not. I don't need you here. You could go away. I just want to see the ape punch.
No,
things.
I need John C. Reilly.
But
I completely
with a
disagree
TV
with that.
show, you're not gonna have the budget to see a giant ape punch other monsters on a regular basis.
You have basically the whole King Kong name, or just for the title. That's it. You just have a reason to be on Skull Island.
All you're gonna get is a roar in the distance every now and then.
You'll in the first episode.
You
I
may
promise
see
you,
him.
you on the pilot, you will see Kong.
Yeah.
After
Yeah.
that, you will never see Kong until like the very end.
Yeah, because most pilots, they pump all the money into that.
Mm-hmm.
About $7 million. And everything after that is about $100,000.
Oh yeah.
An episode.
they spend an entire episode in a cave because they just wanted to save budget.
Oh yeah, there's always those episodes where it's just one central location.
Yep.
Yeah, and if
Like, go back to-
if you've ever seen a show that has flashback episodes, because they're out of money.
Yep.
That's the reason
And
why.
it's like Friends. Every single season of Friends, there's an episode where they do not leave Monica's apartment. They're always in that apartment.
Well, yeah. I mean, 90% of that show was in Monica's apartment. But you're
But I mean, they don't go to Joey's set. They don't
Yeah.
go to any other set except
Central
Monica's
Perk.
apartment.
They don't go anywhere.
Nope.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Okay, I didn't know that.
yeah, most shows, if you and that's the one I pick up on the most. I've seen that so much, but like most shows, there's always that episode in the season, along
And-
with the flashback.
In Breaking Bad, the Fly episode, he was just in that one room the entire episode trying to chase a fly, and it was because they ran out of money.
Okay.
That's exactly what it is.
So King Kong Skull Island TV show. Tell us more about it, Rob. I thought I saw.
Oh my
something
god,
about that.
yeah. I can't believe I forgot that. I was just talking about the show itself and it's the background, but it's supposed to be a female-led show. So,
So is it saying there's
Yeah.
more people on Skull Island other than the natives, other than John C. Reilly character?
well, other than they didn't say anything about that. They just said that the lead character for the show is going to be female. I don't know if they're going to have someone go back to the island, if there's going to be another character there. But
I almost wonder if maybe they're gonna try and write in that maybe another helicopter just dropped them off.
Yeah.
And so there was another team on the island with all the other people, and they were all doing crazy stuff while these guys are trying to learn more about the locals and try to figure out the vegetation and all this other stuff. And
Yeah.
maybe we're following those guys and their story. And then they realize that their helicopter is blown up, they've all left, the boat's gone, and now they're stuck on this island.
Interesting.
And so it's
Yeah.
kind of like Lost, but with a giant ape.
The natives
Okay,
didn't
yeah.
talk, did they?
I don't
No,
remember.
they
No, they
did
didn't
not.
talk. They did not talk.
They're probably going to talk in this show.
They're going to have to.
I think the
Which will be
elders,
something that will bother me.
the elders probably won't talk just to try and keep with it, but that the younger generation is going to be the ones that kind of open up to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Kylie's going to come out, have a Pepsi. Speech. So, yeah, I know there are a bunch of people out there who is going to start saying that King Kong sucks and blah 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 because it's led by a woman. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, look on Twitter and look up Star Wars stuff about the female characters.
And that whole argument is so insane.
Oh my god, it's so stupid.
You know, like, these people, or these characters are wonderful. They're fun to watch. They're so cool. And it doesn't matter if you're a male or a female, whatever. As long as you're a great character, that's what matters. And as long as you make the story cool, it doesn't matter what your gender is. Could care less. And even for this story, it actually makes a lot of sense that there would be a female lead for this story. Because in King Kong, it's always been about the damsel in distress. So I'm going to grab the blonde pretty lady and take her up the Empire State Building.
And then the man has to come save her.
Right. And this one, it doesn't have to be like that. And I like the direction that they're taking with it. And if anybody has a problem with it, you can suck a lemon. Don't watch it. Who cares?
Exactly. Yeah, don't watch it. You didn't watch the Ghostbusters, did you, fuckers?
I mean, that was a little strong.
Sorry.
Did you say suck a lemon?
Yeah. It's sour. You get an ulcer. That hurts.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
I mean, if you
the
put
more you know.
too much acid in your mouth, you get an ulcer. So, you know.
All right.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
The more you know.
What network is this gonna be on? Do you know?
This network,
Or are they still gonna sell it? Do they not know?
I honestly don't know. I don't think they have one yet.
Okay.
I haven't seen anything about where they're supposed to put this. So
Okay.
yeah.
Continue on. I'm gonna see if I can find anything for it.
Okay, so going right along, we're going to go into channel surfing, which is what's the best shows you've watched this week, or 1 to 3 shows you've seen this week that are good, you like, you want to tell people about it. My show is Dimension 404, which is on Hulu.
I've been meaning to watch that. What is that about?
Okay, Dimension 404 is almost like a Twilight Zone kind of TV series, but everything behind it, as far as aliens or whatever is going on, is technology based.
So when you say Twilight Zone, it actually is like just set like or split up different stories.
Yeah, different stories. Yeah, it's not a continuing thing. Each episode is separate.
Interesting.
And I mean, it's a little bit Twilight Zone, a little bit Black Mirror, where Black Mirror is kind of like that, and most of their episodes are about technology. But this one it's all technology, dealing with. Usually it's the internet, but like I said, there was one about time travel where they just had this little device, whatever. They kept popping back and forth, and that one was a freaking paradox.
Really?
Yeah, they're actually really good.
Okay. Nice.
The one there was an episode with Patton Oswalt, where the aliens were coming to control the planet, and I'm not going to tell you anything about it. Go watch it. Hulu, Dimension 404. There are 5 episodes right now. They're about a half an hour or 40 minutes long. If you got the time, give it a look.
There you go. I've got a few shows. One of which is, I mean, when I'm not watching NBA or anything like that, there's a lot of draft coverage, by the way. But no, I mean, there's a few things that I watch. Impractical Jokers. I love that show. The show is fantastic. But Netflix just relaunched Mystery Science Theater 3000. And that's been kind of a big one for a lot of people. I never really got into it from the beginning. Or I never really watched the original series that came out. But this one, you've got Felicia Day is in the first one, and then Patton Oswalt's in there too. Like you said, Patton Oswalt, that immediately brought me back to that. And it's funny. It's some good stuff, and that's on Netflix. You can check that out. And then the new season of Doctor Who started up last week. I talked about that for a second, but it was a good episode. I actually really liked it, and they have a new companion named Bill, who she's the first lesbian companion. And,
oh, really?
Yeah, it was really interesting the way they
should have saw that coming with a name like Bill.
I mean, I don't judge, so you know.
But I mean, Billy, okay, okay.
But
I get that. I still don't get Bill for a girl. It just doesn't fit to me.
Don't overthink it.
Yeah, I knew a girl named Fred in California, and she was not gay, but Fred did take her clothes off a lot.
Good for Fred.
A lot.
Good for Fred.
Was Fred a stripper?
Fred was not a stripper. Okay. Fred just liked being naked.
Good for Fred.
And walking around the apartment complex.
Can we get a salute to Fred?
The complex.
The complex.
Salute to Fred. Salute to you.
Nice little home improvement reference.
Yeah. Yeah, so Doctor Who was really good. It was interesting the way that they did it. The Doctor is a professor at a college, and it was interesting to see how he's like teaching, and he's really like pinpointed on Bill. And then finally at the end, he's like, "Okay, Bill, why don't you come with me?" Even though he was really fighting not bringing Bill along. And then BBC immediately after that, they released a new show based in the Doctor Who universe, and that is called Class. And it's, I guess, a spin-off of Doctor Who, where it's really interesting the way that, and it's hard for me to explain it, like, these kids at this university, they are trying to fight off these supernatural forces, and meanwhile, there is an alien amongst them who is just trying to hide out as a refugee. So it's kind of cool how they're doing it, and, like, in the first episode, a guy lost his leg.
Jesus.
Yeah. The Doctor had to save everybody, but Peter Capaldi won't be on every episode, so they're going to be on their own to fight the forces of evil or the extraterrestrial forces. So.
Yeah, he was just there to give the series the little boost, and then it's on you guys.
That's exactly what it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, is that it? Anything else?
Well, then obviously Silicon Valley is this week. But yeah, that's about it.
My channel surfing pick is definitely, like I said, I'm just now watching Rebels, and my pick is Rebels season 2 episode 6 because Hondo is back. Hondo, the space pirate. I love it so much, and it really is. I'm not liking Rebels as much as I liked Clone Wars, but still, it's a lot of fun and it's got things to check out. And that was so far my favorite thing I've watched this past week. So
cool.
All right, that's all we got.
That's all I got for you.
That's all we got. So there you go. Channel surfing.
I watch a lot of TV.
Where you surf the channels.
We surf the channels.
We surf the channels a lot. And now we go into Love It or Leave It. Shows you love that have been renewed. And it shows that the networks hate, and they're going to leave it.
You can get it.
Get out of my network. And our first canceled show was one that I talked about on SNS Live. Was that SNS Live? Yeah, SNS Live.
Show on it.
That's a show we're on.
Time After Time.
Time After Time.
I knew someone was going to.
And he did that in the same episode.
I did. 100% did that again.
God.
I'm very proud of myself right now. I'm going to pat you on the back, pat you on the back, I'm going to pat me on the back.
I didn't really do much for that, but thanks for the pat.
I felt good about it.
They are ending, it's not just being canceled, they're actually ending the series, Bates Motel.
You know, I watched season 1 of Bates Motel, and I really liked
also.
it, and it was creepy as hell.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of like when I watched Smallville. When it came back, I just didn't get back into it. And then I had missed so much of it, I was like, well, we'll have to wait till maybe someday, just binge the whole thing. But I did really like it.
Yeah, I did see the first season, I liked it, and the same thing with you. When the second season came along, the interest was just gone because I was watching other stuff.
Yeah.
So I just didn't get back to it.
I like whenever they end shows. Not like cancel them outright, but they end it. And especially shows that you've been invested in for so long. So a show like this, it had a big following. You know, even my wife watched it. You guys watched the first season. The fact that they're ending it and they're giving it some closure is going to be good.
Yeah, that's always good. I mean, I like that also. Like, there are even shows on the CW. They just ended. They're ending Reign and Vampire Diaries, and they had a planned ending for them. It's not like they leave and like, okay, we'll see you guys next season. and 2 days later, hey, don't come back next season.
Yeah, and that's my main problem. Like, there's so many shows that maybe I like that other people, that most critics and, they're not getting the ratings, but I like it, and then they just suddenly end on a cliffhanger and it never goes anywhere ever again. Like, I feel
the
like
last
I've wasted
season of
my
Dallas.
time. Well, then they had a spinoff of Dallas.
No, I'm talking about the one they just brought back.
The TNT
Oh,
one?
Yeah, the TNT Dallas.
Really? Well, that one's a little different.
The way it ended, well, I was because they canceled it during its off season, and it ended on a cliffhanger.
But wasn't it because JR died? Like, legitimately died?
No. They kept the show going.
Oh, okay.
The show was still going well after JR died.
Okay.
And they killed not JR's son, but Patrick Duffy's son. He died in a car explosion. And then that was the last scene of the season.
Yes.
And then while it was on break, canceled. I was like, but what happened? What?
Yeah. And see, I hate that. I hate whenever they do that. Especially since that motion right there. Like, you want more. And then suddenly it's gone forever. And nobody could ever pick it up again. Like, I hate that. So I'm glad. Good for you.
It's not that no one would ever pick it up again. There's always Netflix.
I don't think Dallas is coming back.
Dallas isn't coming back.
Yeah, it's not.
No way.
And the last show that's gone is one that I didn't even know was on TV. Brain Dead.
What was Brain Dead?
Brain
Story
Dead
of my life.
was a CBS show about an alien invasion. They had 4 seasons planned for this thing. They were going to do Washington, D.C., Silicon Valley, Wall Street, and I can't remember the other area that they were going to do. But what happens in Brain Dead, this first season, these aliens come down, they're bugs, crawl into your ear, and they take over the person. And this season was about them going to Washington, D.C., taking over basically, Congress, House, President, people that run the country. And it kind of went nowhere. Again, I didn't even know this thing was on TV.
I heard like 2 a.m.?
I heard it was being developed. And now I'm seeing it's canceled. And you can go on CBS.com and find that show. However, you have to have the total access package, which means you need to pay CBS to watch this show.
I'm good.
So I'm never going to see this show.
Like, was this like V? Like, I feel like this show is kind of like V, ABC's like thing, where like you had extraterrestrials that were coming over and they were like taking over, different important positions of life and whatever. And like, that one kind of had a place that it was going, and then again, it got canceled before it could ever really meet its fruition. But this one, I honestly...
You didn't even know about it.
I don't even know about it. And I don't even think it's going anywhere. Like, I can't see it going anywhere.
Well, it was a dramedy, more comedy than drama. It had Tony Shalhoub, Mary Elizabeth
Tony
Winstead.
Shalhoub was on this?
Yes.
What?
He had the queen.
What? Monk was in this?
Yes.
I am... Okay. What the hell? Where did you put this? Where did CBS air this?
I don't know. I don't know what time it was on, what day it was on, nothing on. I know I heard about it maybe last year. And now they say it's canceled. I'm like, wait, this was never on TV.
Until this moment, I thought Tony Shalhoub was just doing indie films. Like, I had no idea Tony Shalhoub was even acting right now. Like, what the hell? It's crazy.
So,
if you have seen Brain Dead, someone tell us about it, please. Like, tweet us. At Move the Joystick, at Entropy1, at Real Jackass BC, or whatever.
RELJACKASSBC.
That's the one.
or at Channel Control.
At Channel Control. Do that one too. Like,
Whichever one. Just let us know about this
series. I need to know more about this.
I might go to one of those resellers for DVDs and stuff and see if I can find it for like $5.
Please. Just, don't spend more than that.
Or $3, whatever the hell. I don't know.
Oh my god.
Okay, and for shows that are renewed, we've got Legion. I watched the first 2 episodes. This show is so confusing to me. I just don't get it.
I've been told. Again, this is one I haven't watched yet. I need to. I'm gonna binge the whole thing along with this and Preacher. I gotta watch. But I've heard it's really confusing, but the more you watch, while you get confused, you also understand. Which makes no sense at all. But again, I haven't watched, so I can't really... But I just hear that it stays confusing, but you get it.
Our next show, another FX show, Atlanta.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
That one, oh man! If they didn't renew this show, I would have gone to wherever FX was located and rioted.
Well, what makes me so mad though is the fact that it's delayed.
Yeah,
You know, we're not getting it this year. We're not going to get it till next year.
it makes
Because
sense though.
well, it makes sense because Donald Glover's busy.
Yeah, and you can't have that show without Donald
Being
Glover.
so cool is Lando Calrissian,
Yeah.
but
And Simba.
But I mean, he is the genius behind it. Damn it! I want it right now. Like
I know. You want that paper boy? All about that paper boy. Yeah, and what's her name? I can't even remember her name right now. But
Zaza Beats.
Zaza Beats, and she just became Domino for Deadpool, so she's busy as well. It makes sense that it's not going to be until next year. That's fine. You guys get rid of all the other stuff that you're working on, focus on that, and then come back to Atlanta, because there's a lot of unfinished business in Atlanta. Like, I love that the first episode they kill a guy, and now like the rest of the time they're just trying to work on them beats. Like, that's it. Like, you just like shot a dude, and that just kind of like is hanging over them, but it's not going anywhere. And I really want to see what happens with that.
Well, dude, an invisible car.
Oh my god! Oh my god! The invisible car. I forgot about the invisible car.
Watching the whole episode, I'm thinking this is just some prank or something. There's no invisible car.
It was amazing.
There was a freaking invisible car in this episode.
So great. So great. They're leaving the club, and like you hear gunshots, and then here comes like these guys riding nothing. It was
You see it like this, just going down the street.
It was straight Super Friends Wonder Woman.
Yes.
Like
100%. And I'll maintain with you guys, like, I didn't get it at first, what y'all were talking about, because I didn't get into the show until these two told me about it. That talk show episode.
yeah.
Oh
That
my
was
God.
the best. I was crying, laughing at all those commercials.
The episode itself was decent,
Yeah.
but the commercials.
The commercials.
What was it? A Coconut Krispies?
Oh, yeah.
And what's funny is
Hey, man, I could be eating these kids.
I was laughing because I didn't even realize they were fake commercials at first. I was just sitting there watching. I'm like, huh? I've never seen a commercial for Swisher Sweets. Yeah, that's crazy. Pre-dump. What the? Oh, this is part of the show.
I love whenever the guy gets out. He gets out of the car. He's got no pants on.
You got the car and the shirt on your back. That's it.
It was a Ford commercial, and the guy comes out. He's like, got no pants on. He's just trying to fill up his comic.
Oh my God.
So yes, if we are feeling this way about Atlanta, that means you have to watch it.
You have to watch it.
Go to FX now. Go on FX now and watch it. That's how I watch the whole thing. It's so great.
All right, BC.
SCNS Live every single Thursday night on youtube.com/SCNS Live. It's great. It's fun. It's all the nerdy news that you need to see. You get us plus Jason plus Cora plus Professor Chris K. It's great, guys. You can go in there. We will tell you everything you need to know about what's popping that week in nerd culture. Do not forget to follow SCNS Live on Twitter at SCNS Live. And don't forget, every single Thursday, live on YouTube. Well, we won't be there this week, but they will be there. Rob will be there.
We've got an NFL draft.
What? I'm going to the draft.
Yeah, with the draft, nobody's going to be
Jason
there.
and Cora will be there. Wow.
And Chris.
And Chris.
And Chris.
And maybe Ricardo, unless there's a movie
And whoever
coming
else
out.
they get to find to show up. LA.
LA, maybe.
Zach.
No,
show
no,
up.
LA and Zach won't be there.
No.
No. All right, well, yeah, go check
right.
it out every Thursday night, especially this Thursday when you're not watching the draft. Go check that out. We'll be watching the draft. We'll have it in the background. Either way.
Thanks for tuning into the channel, everyone. Hope you enjoyed what you saw. Leave us a comment down below. Give us a like. Turn on notifications for when this show will be live or any other show. Usually I'm going to try to get it up on Sundays. You can send me any messages on Twitter at Entropy1. That's NTROPI1. BC, you can reach him at RealJackassBC. And Matt at Move the Joystick. We'll be back next week with more channel control. And you can check out SNS Live this Thursday night. And that's about it. Thanks for tuning in. And we will see you next week.